What's up guys, today I'll be talking about some tech I really enjoyed for 2019. So this is going to be non-smartphone, so let's go ahead and get started with the Scepter TV. Now this is a 4K TV. Now in the beginning of the year I only had around like $200 to spend on a new TV, so I got this one, and it's not a smart TV, but I wasn't really worried about it because I had the PS4, so I really wasn't worried about not having the Netflix, Hulu, and all your smart TV stuff, because the PS4 has all that. Now as far as the panel goes, it's a beautiful 4K panel. It was very color accurate. It didn't wash out at all. It's just what you would expect from a 4K panel. And as far as the sound quality, that was the one thing about this TV. The one drawback was when 808s hit, or when you're trying to listen to music on your TV, it kind of like distorts the rest of the audio. But with a sound bar you can get some really good quality. You can pick up a little cheap sound bar, but I actually haven't done that because it's not super bad and I haven't felt led to. But if you want the premium audio on your TV, then just pick up a little cheap sound bar and you'll be fine. Next is the U-Tougher. So this is a $25 drone. So if you're trying to get into drones but you don't want to spend a lot of money because you're scared you might break it or whatever, pick up a little cheap drone. It's very fun. So it was my first one, and as soon as I got it, I broke the piece on the controller. So that's why you just pick up a cheap one if you don't want to spend that crazy amount of money. But this guy was very fun to play with. If you're interested in getting into drones, I was able to hook it up to my smartphone, and it was just very fun just to have it fly around the house and outside. You'll just have a really great time with it if you're trying to get into filming and photography from a high distance, if you want to just learn how to fly it. And then after you master this one, you go ahead and get your premium drone. So definitely I highly recommend this one. It's still working even today. I crashed it a whole bunch of times, got hit, stuck in a tree, still didn't break. So very tough little drone. Next is the Sony XBA40 speaker. So this is around $40 and I just really love it. It has a lot of bass in it, excellent sound quality. I was very impressed, and you can actually get this guy wet, but the sound quality on here is probably the main selling point. I mean, it sounds really good, and it has puts out a lot of bass. So I see why they sell a lot of these things, because they just sound really amazing. It's got a little hook that you can hook it onto your bicycle so it doesn't fall off or whatever. And it's just really nice. I wish it had USB Type-C, but you can also hook this up to another little speaker if you want the whole dual speaker setup thing. And it's just very well built. I dropped it a bunch of times and it still works, and the hardware is just really pretty to look at. And yeah, so one of my favorite speakers of this year. Very nice. You get a lot, and I mean a lot of sound coming out of this little small little pill speaker. Next is the RCA Cambio. So this was very interesting because I picked it up for $80, and right now you can pick it up for $100 still. And it's pretty funny because I was expecting this to kind of be trash, but it was actually very good. So listen to the specs here. You have an Intel Atom processor, 2 gigs of RAM. You also have 32 gigs of storage, a 10.1-inch display. It is a 720p IPS display. You have cameras on the front and the back. You do have micro SD support, 6 hours battery life. This thing was actually pretty smooth, and it was very usable for doing normal tasks like Microsoft Word, browsing the web. I was expecting it to be extremely glitchy and stuff like that, but it just was not the case. Battery life was great as well. You do get that 6 hours of battery life, and you would think with 2 gigs of RAM it would be lagging all over the place, but that's not the case. I've even had people on my review videos say that they've been able to game on this guy, play older games and stuff like that. So this is just great for watching Netflix. You have that little keyboard. If you have small hands, then the keyboard is fine. It's not a full keyboard, of course, but you can easily type a little paper on it, no problem. And then you have all your ports on here, so if you want to put attachments to it, like another keyboard, and it does detach from the keyboard, so it's a 2-in-1, and it's just very fun. I was able to play flash games on it as well. You can play games in the Windows Store. The speakers were pretty respectable, so for this price it was very impressive to me. So I really loved this little laptop. So last on the list was the iPad 6th generation. I really wasn't into tablets like that because I didn't really think I needed a tablet, because I'm usually either on my phone or on the desktop. But the iPad is really awesome for playing games and watching movies on here. It's just very impressive. You're gonna love the dual speakers on here. It's very loud, and now that iOS is optimized really to kind of work like a laptop now with iOS 13, you can use this even more. The applications also built for the iPad is very impressive as well. iMovie, GarageBand, if you're into music, they have a lot of custom built applications specifically for the iPad, which are just excellent. So I just really enjoyed just using the iPad operating system on here. Just multitasking, everything was nice and fluid. And like I said, the selling point with this is definitely the applications, and also just the iOS system. Being able to FaceTime on here is better because the screen is bigger. iMessage, all that stuff is on here. So if you're an Android user and you're really stuck on Android phones, consider picking up an iPad to get to know the iOS operating system. It's definitely a good combo. So thanks for watching this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one.